What's up, Tank Nerds? Lottie here again on my weekend, in my weekend attire. I just decided to stop by the workshop today, one, to give you guys the rundown of the first week of productivity, which has been really good, and also because I had to come in anyway and do some things, namely I had to, where can I see it? My fan belt was squeaky, so I just had to fix that. Still haven't quite got it. It's on the air conditioner side. It's not the alternator fan belt. So that's gonna be fun fixing. Anyway, boring car stuff. I am probably gonna bring in the MG because a lot of you guys really want to see my MGB and that. So in the future, sure, whatever. But enough of that. You came for tanks or armored vehicles. Be specific. Yep, let's get into it. The thing is first, wonderful commenters on the last video were telling me about this data plate and where it should go. I was always under the impression, having worked with armored vehicles, that normally they're near the driver's position or inside, like on ferrets and whatever have you. Still not sure where the one is on that, but there are stamped markings in the hull. This one does in fact live on the mudguard, and we can tell because there's a witness mark. We didn't notice it because we were actually using this as a table for all of this stuff, which we'll get into later. But yeah, if you look on the other video, you can see we put all the boxes and stuff were sitting right over the top of where the data plate should go. Where it was when we found it was actually on this side, and it was just wired on, just sitting up here. So yeah, that's why I did not think it was on the mudguard, but hey, the more you learn, which is really good. Sadly, that has led me to the conclusion, if we go and grab our data plate, so really nice. I did a little bit just to try and see the color underneath. So this is going to shine up really nicely. Yeah. It's the same width. So that is the corner, probably this side here where my pinky is, of our data plate for this carrier, which means it is not present anymore, which, given the rust on it all, is not too surprising. So that's a little sad, but hey, thank you again to the commenters. Put that over there. Thank you again to the commenters for letting me know where all the stuff is. So yes, this is why I like people leaving comments, because when I do not know what I'm talking about, there's normally someone who does, which is really good and helpful. And you are all very polite, which is really nice. I like polite people in the comments. So yes, we'll clean it up, pop it back onto there, and that'll be good, but we'll probably do that after the whole thing is sandblasted. On the topic of sandblasters, I quickly ran through this one the other day. We need to get some more perspex because it is, it's been used, so that sort of fogginess isn't really going to go away. But it's really good for small stuff like I was talking about on my last video, like, was around here somewhere, pretty sure. There it is. So those, you know, it started out as rusty stuff like that. That little sandblaster can turn it into that with a good bit of paint. These ones were a little bit trickier because the rust is just so deep. But even so, with a good hit of the big one, and then putting it into that one, and then giving them a good clean, they show up pretty good. You can even make out the original part numbers in them and all the rivets holding the pads in, which is really nice. So that's quite groovy. Happy about that. These are on their first coat, but we just need to do a couple more. These were horrendous. They looked like those ones over there. These are the wheel hubs for our trailer that we're doing for a client. And we obviously can't fit that into that. So we used our sandblasting / pressure washer. This works pretty well, identical to any other pressure washer. It's a petrol driven one. It's pretty easy, and you just plug water in down into the bottom there where my foot was. Got a normal pressure washer hose. All you do is pull it off from there, and you attach this one. So all this is, it's a standard hose, pressure washing hose, but it has an attachment for this secondary hose, and that is for your sand. Now, I'm not going to turn this because you need to keep the sand, where my pinky is, the sand in there needs to be dry by the time it gets into the nozzle. These are quite expensive because the nozzle end, and again, I'm not going to turn it around because we want to keep the water from entering this pipe here. In there is a tungsten bit, and they're fairly expensive metal, as you can imagine. So we just leave them pointed downhill and with the hose side up. On the other side, we have our little siphon with a breather on it, and you jam this into a bag of sand, which is what we have out here. So this is all the sand that we use for our big heavy duty sandblaster. You just cut a little nick in the top of the bag right there, and you jam the siphon into the sand. And basically what happens is, as the water is blown out, a venturi is created, and it sucks the sand in through that pipe and out the nozzle. And you need that tungsten bit, because if you didn't, the nozzle would get worn out very quickly. For the record, it's not the most, how do we put it? No, it's pretty cost effective if you use the right sand. But you will go through a bag of sand for every single one of these that we have found. So sandblasting all of this took one bag of sand. And you can do the math going backwards from there. So the cheaper you can get your sand, the cheaper you can run your sandblaster. And that's pretty much how we did it. That being said, you do need an upgrade. So you'll see that this is quite beefy. It used to be this tiny little one here. This is the pump, by the way. So little tiny one, big one. That was about $150, $200. Slap it on there, bolt straight on, easy peasy. And then you can use the sandblasting attachment without issue. So yeah, the plan, we do have a local sandblasters in town, and that's where the hull of the trailer is going in. We'll see how good their work is when it arrives. One of these will likely go there, and the other one we'll do ourselves, probably that one. And then we'll spray it, clean it all up, and it'll be good as gold. If not, I will probably end up doing the sandblasting on both of them, which isn't a problem, but it is quite labor intensive. But it is cheaper depending on how much we get quoted for the sandblasters. Eventually you just have to weigh it up. We would expect anywhere between $1,500 to $2,500 for one of these. Once all the running gear and everything is off, just a bare hull, yeah, the price can be quite big depending on how many projects the sandblaster has on, and how mean they're feeling in any given day. But for $1,500, you can buy a lot of sand. A lot of sand. So we have to do that cost analysis. And of course, time for labor. But because these are our vehicles, we can charge ourselves. And we can work out what we want to do. So yeah, that's the plan for these two. I just cover these ones a bit more. Yeah, so I spent pretty much a good part of yesterday cleaning all these up. Both sides. Pressure washing them. And then Peter sprayed them. So we bought some paint. There we go. And yeah, it's just the first coat, so there's a couple little bits missing. But yeah, once it's all painted, we can start talking to the client about what color he wants it. We do have the original wheels. So I'll go and step out over here. Here's all of this stuff. So these are the original wheels for the trailer. And they look to be the original green, which is quite nice. The problem is, there's a million different shades of green. I don't know if the camera's really picking up, but the green is a lot darker than the way that... I'll try and cover the light. So it's like an olive drab. We will either match the trailer to the hubs, or more likely, the client has a truck that is going to be pulling the trailer, and we will probably match the trailer to the truck. That way he's not driving around in a slightly off green variant. So yeah, it's all coming along together nicely. We still haven't touched the ferret, and fingers crossed, we may be doing work on another ferret. Hopefully I get an answer back tomorrow at some point, in which case we're just going to tarp this one up, move it outside, and we'll bring the other one in and do work in it here. So yeah, I think that's where we're at the moment, indeed. So thank you to those who commented on the last video about the data plate. It has helped greatly, and we now know where they're supposed to go. So we just need a data plate for our Bren gun. The full uncut Bren gun, because that would be really nice, actually having a data plate. So we might try and find another data plate that is off a dead carrier and get it cast or something and make up another one. We'll see. It's all way down the track. But yeah, we do know the numbers for the Bren gun, which is really nice. So yeah, thank you again for the nice comments. Really helps me get into the groove and into the passion. It's been really nice. I think I have quite the nice comment section, which is really good. So keep them coming. It helps feed the ego. Just kidding, but not really. Yeah, if there is anything else that you guys have noticed or queries, ask away. And I'll try and include them in the next video. The next video will be Monday, off the top of my head. Yes, today's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So yeah, going through YouTube, I've decided that once every 2 days seems to be the most appropriate, because the videos are still climbing on the second day, and it just helps the flow better, and I can take longer and make better videos. So yeah, that's where we're at. I will see you guys on Monday, and hopefully we will have another ferret. If not, I'll let you guys know. But yes, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!